What is going on, everybody? It is Luke Beller. And today, with the Buccaneers just winning the Super Bowl as they did, I thought it'd be sort of interesting to sort of take a look at their roster, sort of how they built the team that they did build, and maybe sort of see if the Packers can take anything away from what the Buccaneers were able to do, sort of how they built their team through the draft, what they've done in free agency, and sort of all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm going to talk about in today's video. If you guys are new to the channel, I put out Packers news, Packers analysis 5 to 6 times a week. So if you want to see that, make sure you guys subscribe and turn on those post notifications. So taking a look at this Buccaneers team, the biggest thing that pretty much everyone saw last night when it came to that Super Bowl win was their ability to bring pressure with only 4 of their defensive linemen. They only brought a blitz, I believe, on 2 of the 29 pressures they had, and those 29 pressures was a Super Bowl record. So Todd Bowles was able to dial up a defensive scheme that basically allowed them to pressure Patrick Mahomes, basically held him in check, which no one really has been able to do, holding him to only 9 points and no touchdowns. So definitely a great job from that Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. And when we take a look at this Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense and their defensive line, Vita Vea, outside linebacker, Shaq Barrett, Ndamukong Suh, Jason Pierre-Paul, 4 very, very good defensive players. And that's definitely, I'd say, one of the biggest keys to this Tampa Bay Buccaneers success, especially when it came to the Super Bowl, as we all saw. And so the question is, sort of taking a look at this Packers team, how do we sort of compare to this Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense? So of course, we got Zadarius Smith on the outside, we got Rashawn Gary on the outside. Who knows what's going to happen with Preston Smith? We don't know if he will be back or not coming in to the 2021 season. And then we have Kenny Clark as well, on the inside there on the defensive line. And the thing is with the Packers, we're sort of lacking another guy to sort of pair alongside Kenny Clark, in the middle of that defensive line, while the Buccaneers have Ndamukong Suh as well as Vita Vea. So 2 great players there. I think the Packers definitely need to come in and add another one there to basically allow this Packers defense to potentially become better when it comes to getting to the quarterback, when it comes to stopping the run. And I want to take a look at a few different kind of stats that sort of show, I guess, the dominance of the Buccaneers and sort of how the Packers are sort of a lot farther behind when it comes to that sort of area. So first off, taking a look at sacks, it's not that big of a discrepancy. The Buccaneers had 48 sacks this season, 4th in the NFL. The Packers had 41 sacks, which was 11th in the NFL. So not too much of a discrepancy there. But sort of where you can see the differences and sort of the talent of basically how they've been able to, I guess, sort of dominate in the trenches at the line of scrimmage. The Buccaneers were 5th when it came to pass rush win rate with 49%, while the Packers were 20th in pass rush win rate with 41%. And then the Buccaneers were 2nd when it comes to run stop win rate at 32%, and the Packers were 24th when it came to run stop win rate. So the Buccaneers would dominate when it comes to the trenches. The Packers, on the other hand, seem to be in the bottom third when you sort of look at that pass rush win rate and run stop win rate. So hopefully the Packers can bring someone else in, or, hopefully having Barry there as the defensive coordinator, maybe he'll do something to sort of change just how good we can be when it comes to that defensive front. But obviously we'll have to wait until next season, which is now like 6 or 7 months away. A little bit sad. There's definitely going to be a lot going on before the season starts, but it's going to be a long while until we get to see this Packers defense actually play once again. And then if we move to another crucial part of this Buccaneers defense, mainly Lavonte David at the inside linebacker position, also Devin White, a great linebacker. Lavonte David was ranked 4th this year when it came to PFF, Devin White 62nd. But Lavonte David, just his ability to fly around, sort of his ability to cover, his ability to blitz, his ability to basically do anything he needs to do in the middle of that field, definitely has been crucial for this Bucs team. And the question is, do the Packers need to come in and invest in an inside linebacker? We picked up Christian Kirksey last year. He didn't really do great in the 2020 season. We have 2 young guys in Chris Barnes and Kamal Martin. We saw flashes from them, of some good things potentially to come. Who knows what's going to happen with them, though? So will the Packers bring in another guy there? And, we don't really know. Who knows what's going to happen? But the thing is, though, every single defense is built differently. You don't necessarily need to have a great inside linebacker. We sort of see that with the Rams. They have one of the best defenses. But if you take a look at their inside linebackers, their best linebacker is ranked 27th in PFF for linebackers. So obviously you can get it done without linebackers. It just comes down to, how do the Packers want to build their defense? Do they want to utilize that inside linebacker position, or sort of just stick to what they have right now in Chris Barnes and Kamal Martin, because they do both have pretty cheap contracts? So that's sort of a question there. And now we sort of look at the draft and sort of what the Buccaneers have done the past few seasons. I want to sort of compare it to the Green Bay Packers, sort of see what's going on there. So in the first round of the 2018 draft, the Buccaneers picked Vita Vea, defensive tackle, and obviously that has been a great pick. He's been dominant. Then 2019 first round, Devin White, 5th overall. sort of helps, when your team hasn't been good, you get those top 10 picks, having, Devin White come in there. The Packers haven't really been as lucky when it comes to that, but at the same time, we've been, pretty good, but we haven't, won a Super Bowl in the past few years. A little sad, I guess you could say. And then 2020, 13th overall pick, they picked Tristan Wirfs, the offensive tackle. And we sort of compare that to the Packers' first-round draft picks for the past few years. 2018, Jair Alexander, 18th overall, amazing pick. 2019, Rashawn Gary, 12th overall, and Darnell Savage, 21st overall. So we basically killed it in 2018 and 2019 when it came to the first round of the draft. And of course, Jordan Love, that was sort of the biggest topic up for debate. Should the Packers have done that? Should they have picked a guy who would have brought something to the table, in 2020 instead of sort of preparing for the future, as the Packers did with that pick, picking Jordan Love? We'll sort of never know what could have happened if we didn't pick Jordan Love, but at the same time, the Packers probably picked him up just because you don't know how Aaron Rodgers was going to do in the 2020 season. He could have started to decline. I feel like he was more of like an insurance policy just in case Rodgers starts to go down. The Packers sort of have another guy who could potentially come in the future. But now with the way Rodgers has been playing, MVP level as he was the actual MVP, who knows what's going to happen with Jordan Love. It's still sort of, we don't really know what's going to happen there. So now we take a look at the Bucs' second-round picks past few seasons. 2018, they had 3 second-round picks. Carlton Davis, cornerback MJ Stewart, I don't think he's with them anymore. Running back Ronald Jones, great running back. 2019, they picked cornerback Sean Murphy-Bunting. 2020, safety Antoine Winfield. Packers, 2018, Josh Jackson, hasn't really panned out there. 2019, Elton Jenkins has been great, so versatile. And then 2020, A.J. Dillon. So I think the biggest thing when you take a look at, facing off the Buccaneers versus the Packers, sort of how they've drafted, one of the biggest things that sort of came to my attention when I was doing this research is the 2 players that the Buccaneers picked in the first 2 rounds in 2020 basically brought something to the table in 2020. They're big parts of this team, with Tristan Wirfs on the offensive line, leading to Tom Brady only getting pressured 4 times last night, which was the fewest of every single one of his Super Bowls. So obviously that was a crucial pick for them. Then Antoine Winfield, safety in the second round. He was a big part of their defense and sort of allowed them, when they played sort of 2-man deep last night, to allow them to keep Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce pretty much in check. Then we compare that with the Packers, 2 first-round picks in 2020. Obviously, Jordan Love didn't do anything this year. And A.J. Dillon, he had a few good games, but he wasn't a very crucial part. And so I think that sort of begs the question, what would have happened if the Packers were to come in, maybe draft, I don't know, another cornerback in the first round instead of Jordan Love, an inside linebacker, defensive tackle? Who knows sort of what could have happened? It's pretty easy, though, to sort of say what if and to sort of look back on things that haven't gone right and sort of wish something else would have happened. But, it sort of does beg the question, was that the right pick? Honestly, who knows? We'll have to wait and sort of see in the future what happens with Jordan Love. And then if we sort of move on to the free agents, obviously this was the biggest, probably the most crucial part for this Buccaneers team. Bringing in Tom Brady, of course, sort of changing the culture there in Tampa Bay, winning a Super Bowl, pairing in Rob Gronkowski, great chemistry there, and then Leonard Fournette as well, and Antonio Brown. And what's crazy is all the guys who scored last night weren't on the Buccaneers team a year prior. So obviously, having those free agents come in, it sort of shifted, sort of the play that sort of happened in Tampa Bay, leading to their Super Bowl victory. And so the question is, what are the Packers going to do when it comes to free agents? Because we didn't really bring in anyone to, help Aaron Rodgers in 2020 on the offensive side of the ball. I guess we brought in Tavon Austin. He didn't really do too much, though. The thing is, though, I don't really think we needed to bring someone else in. Could they have been helpful? Obviously, we did have the number 1 scoring offense in the NFL, so obviously we were doing pretty much most things right throughout the 2020 season when it came to the offensive side of the ball. And I'm not sure how much, another piece on the offense would have done. I guess if you sort of take a look at the NFC Championship game, some of the, the reasons we lost, partly Aaron Jones, had a couple fumbles in that one. Some other, great players didn't play great in that game. So if he would have had someone else, another, like Will Fuller, would there have been a different outcome? And honestly, that's again playing the what if game, and you don't really know. And so now sort of begs the question, what's going to happen coming into 2021? What will the Packers do to, sort of build this team and hopefully get us to the Super Bowl coming into 2021? The thing is, though, right now we all know we're over like 25 or 30 million over the cap. So we probably have to be cutting some guys. So who knows if we'll actually, be able to sign any free agents, if that'll happen. And who knows how we will decide to build through the draft. It'll be interesting to sort of see what the Packers decide to do in the draft, because then it'll sort of give us, more of an idea of sort of what they're looking to do coming into the future. And it's easy to speculate and sort of guess what they may do, but you never know what the Packers are going to do. We didn't expect Jordan Love to get picked. He got picked. And so who knows what's going to happen coming into 2021. But But that's basically all I wanted to cover, sort of comparing both teams, sort of how the Buccaneers built that Super Bowl winning roster. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on the video down below. I appreciate you guys always for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so you don't miss, upcoming Packers news, analysis, all that kind of stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Straight from the mud like Ruby. Straight to the stage, they love me. I understand they hungry, but please don't hate, that's ugly.